Yo, what's going on, guys? Nasher here, and today is another big day regarding NHL 21. We now have our first look at some actual gameplay. A few weeks back, we did a breakdown of the official reveal trailer, which is just a lot of real-life gameplay and just flashes of cinematics. Now we have some raw footage from EA that we're going to be taking a look at, breaking down, and giving you our reaction on. Of course, if you guys didn't know, there was a closed NHL 21 beta that we were not allowed to stream or upload, but I had a lot of time to get into the game. I can give you my thoughts on what we're seeing in this video and compare it to how it actually felt in the game. This one is a little bit longer. It's about 3.5 minutes in length, so I'm going to go through, play a portion, pause it, talk through my thoughts, and then we will continue. Let's go ahead and jump on in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
NHL 21 gameplay innovation is built on the creative mindset of hockey's boundary breakers.
We got Ben Ross, one of the producers there at EA,
defend,
talking us through all the new features, which is nice.
NHL 21's superstar-inspired innovation allows you to use the unique abilities of hockey's elite every time you step on the ice. We've added 4 new boundary-breaking moves to your arsenal.
Oh, they actually have Sidney Crosby doing the move now instead of Williams that we saw in the trailer. That's nice.
Matthew Tkachuk's between-the-legs one-timer, and yes, Svechnikov's lacrosse goal, or the Michigan, are all now featured in the game. These moves create special in-game moments that are only created with the right combination of skill and opportunity.
All right, there is something big there. That right there is the first time I have ever seen the Svechnikov or the Michigan done in an actual game. I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. I went into the EA SHL practice mode in the beta build, made a 95 deking dangler, a small speedy guy, attempted the Michigan for no joke, 4 hours straight, and did not even hit it once. With the move, there is a precise movement of the right analog stick, and if you are even just a fraction of a millimeter off of where you need to be on that rotation, the puck falls off your stick. So I'm not joking with you guys. I personally went 0 for 500 in practice mode attempting the Svechnikov deke. I understand that they want it to be difficult to do, and I agree it should be near impossible. Like, I almost want to compare it to a Call of Duty trick shot. I want that same hype, that same energy if you hit an across the map throwing knife or a wide ladder stall, no scope, whatever. But in this game, in its current state, how they have it put in, I just don't think it's possible. Don't get me wrong. I don't want this to become overpowered, but I do want this to work in practice mode when you have open space and maybe like 1 out of every 100 attempts in a game. I'll go on record here and say I don't think a single person hit it in a game in all of the beta, but if you have something that proves otherwise, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know.
In NHL 20, most one-on-one moves could not be pulled off without sacrificing speed.
That's
in
facts.
NHL 21, to replicate the boundary-breaking attributes of Ovechkin and McDavid, we added a multitude of slips, banks, and chips so you can retain speed and acceleration. This is especially useful when your opponent is playing the trap or aggressive on the blue line.
I want to say this move right here is without a doubt my favorite addition to NHL 21 because it can be used absolutely anywhere. They showed in this video, you can use it on a breakout up the ice from your own end. You can use it as you enter the zone. And like Ben just mentioned, when you have a defender that's really trapping up on the blue line, this is going to be your quick entry into the zone without having to dump and chase. I found that this move really shined in EA SHL where you have the differing builds. So I like to use a smaller like 5'8" dangler build. A lot of the defenders on the other teams just go with those big bodies and they're looking for those booming hits at the blue line. So people would step up, go for those big hits, and right as they do, you can tap both bumpers, jump around them, use the boards, do whatever you have to do to get into the zone. So this right here, it doesn't seem like a ton, but it really changes how NHL 21 is played.
We've also given you the ability to fine-tune your skating aesthetics down to the inch. So whether you want to look like McDavid, Ovechkin, or match your own personal style, it's all in your control.
Can we just, I gotta just pause that and put that in slow-mo. The customization that you can do on that, it's pretty cool. But the guy that is skating like this, roaming around the ice, maybe a little bit unrealistic, but you know what? The more customization, the better. Shout out to EA. I think even they found that pretty funny. So Respect for that one.
Hockey is a game where teams use well-spaced rushes and crisp passes to retain speed up and down the ice.
Okay, this is good. So now we're getting more into the AI. It looks like kind of the breakout and the entries.
Will now move fluidly as a unit on both offense and defense, depending on which strategy you use. In NHL 20, players were frustrated when they couldn't trust their AI teammates and wanted their AI opponents to be more challenging through more organic and realistic decision-making. In NHL 21, the goal has been to make the AI more challenging while also making their decision-making and responsive.
Okay, I gotta say, from what I'm seeing so far, this is pretty cool. Now, on the surface, it looks kind of minor, but I like what we're seeing comparing the new gameplay to NHL 20. NHL 20 AI are just absolutely clueless in terms of being where they need to be, and I'm talking both in the defensive zone and when you're trying to set up on offense. The thing that I agree with most in this portion is the way the AI didn't attack the net, so it always felt like there were lanes that they could go to, and instead they'd take like an awkward position, be open for a pass, but then not have a good shot on goal. Where in NHL 21, it sounds like their focus is really getting them into positions where they can score. So not only are they going to be open, they're going to be open with a good chance of getting a solid shot on net. This is one thing I think that actually made a difference when it comes to the gameplay, or something that I've felt in the beta. However, when it comes to the finishes, even in this trailer, every single goal that we've seen so far is from a cross crease. Now, realistically, cross crease goals happen a lot in the NHL. That's going to be a guaranteed goal every time. But even here, when we're featuring gameplay, we're seeing cross crease after cross crease, one-timer after one-timer. I want to see the defenders, especially even the AI defenders, step up and stop those shots. So maybe there's more to come, but that was kind of disappointing seeing that and feeling that in the beta yet again this year.
On breakouts, offensive teammates move fluidly as a unit.
So now we're into the breakouts.
More effectively, and they will need
nice
to,
and clean,
because on the defensive side of the puck, teams will work more collectively during aggressive forechecks.
Okay, I like what I see here.
Offensive players
again,
will try to retain
another
their
cross
momentum
crease
through the neutral zone, while defensive strategies have been improved to neutralize speed, forcing the offense to be more creative and play less north-south. In the offensive zone, teammates work more effectively to find open space, to challenge a much more improved defense that can be trusted to defend passing options and identify moments to play aggressively to contain the puck.
Okay, so overall, they're kind of jumping between offensive and defensive AI tools here. So we saw the breakouts have been newly improved. You could see the center actually curling around and looking for that pass out of the zone, which is something that was often lacking in NHL 20. On the defensive side, AI seem to get into lanes and actually use their stick more often instead of just standing there. So often in NHL 20, the AI defenders would be in a pretty good spot, say, to cut off that cross crease pass, and they literally just sit there, just stand there. They don't try to play the body, they don't try to poke the puck, they don't even try to make a play. They literally are just standing there to allow the opposition to get a free goal. So it looks like, at least from what they're showing in these examples, that has been somewhat improved. But again, I mean, we're 2 minutes and 18 seconds into this trailer, and they've showed so many cross crease one-timer goals, man. Like, give us something different. I want to see these nice plays set up and then finish it with a nice snipe, or maybe like a nice Kucherov, or just do something, you know what I mean?
And we can't talk about trusting your teammates without covering the last line of defense.
Okay, the goalies are getting some love finally. I know all you EA SPORTS goalies out there probably will appreciate this.
Working seamlessly together to give the goalie incredible control and responsiveness in all situations when trying to move and track the puck at the same time. In NHL 20, if you committed one way, it was difficult to react in time to counter that momentum and make a save in the other direction. In NHL 21, our new tech allows for never say die moments, where if you've committed one way and you react quickly enough, you can still reach back against your goalie's momentum and make that dramatic last-minute save that every goalie dreams about. But don't test your luck. Even with all this added responsiveness and control, goalies will always be more effective when using sound technique and positioning to block off angles to play the percentages for that specific scenario.
Okay, so the goalies have got a little bit of love this year as well. So it sounds like they've added a couple new animations. It looks like if you overcommit to one side, there then is going to be that desperation animation. In the trailer, you saw Fleury sitting way over on the right side. He had overcommitted to that way. The puck goes over to the left. He's then able to quickly slide over and get a glove on there. So pretty cool. I know ESHL goalies, you guys will be happy with the changes that they've made. I have not talked to one yet to really dig in and see how it felt in the beta, but I'll get back to you guys and let you know my thoughts on that. I do know that the NHL 20 clip that they showed is very, very accurate as to what happened. So many goals, especially in ESHL with the manual goalie, were just shots that bounce off the goalie's chest. He's in a pretty good position. The puck ends up in front and then he can't get over to make that second save. So it looks like that's going to be nice, being able to actually be there to make that first stop and then have the desperation to get over and make the second. The good thing is, with all the cross creases that we mentioned earlier in this video, this is going to be a good tool to prevent those from happening. So if you're hugging the left post maybe a little bit too long, you'll at least be able to get over and make somewhat of a desperation attempt. Will you make the save every time? No. Should you make the save every time? No, but at least now you have the ability to.
Building on the core of RPM technology, we've been able to continue to keep responsiveness and aesthetics in all facets of the
Michigan
game,
again.
Setting us up with a great foundation for the future. With NHL 21, our gameplay innovation is meant to recognize those who have revolutionized the game, bringing you the best hockey experience on this console generation.
And there we have it. That is your first look at the NHL 21 gameplay reveal. And let's get into our thoughts. Broad overview of what was mentioned in this trailer. First things first, you have the new dekes. You had, of course, the Michigan, the Kucherov, the chip dekes, and the between the legs one-timer. Now, in order of effectiveness, the chip deke actually changes how the game is played. The other dekes, very, very rare. We already touched on the Michigan earlier. I think they could increase the success rate. Again, I just want to be able to pull it off in practice mode 1 out of 100 times. But at this current state, it is impossible to pull off in practice, going to be even more impossible to pull off in a game, and it definitely needs to be tweaked so it can at least happen. Right now, it's outside the realm of possibility. The Kucherov deke I have pulled off and scored on, so glad they added that to the game. The more offensive tools, the better. It does not work well really ever against an AI goalie, but this is going to be a great move against manual controlled goalies in EA SHL. I'm not gonna lie, I have never seen the Matthew Tkachuk between the legs one-timer. They say that it's automated, so it'll just happen in certain situations if the pass is coming and it's in a spot where you can only do that, but I've never even seen it in the game at this point. The chip deke, though, I gotta give it to him. That is innovation. That is something that we've needed for a while. I'm glad you can do it literally anywhere, open ice, along the boards, behind the net. That's something that you can use in any situation at any time, and it is super effective as well. So glad that they added that one. Next up, we have the AI improvements, and that's on every portion of the ice. I'm talking defense, breakouts, attacking, pretty much everything. And based on what we saw in this trailer, I can say you can actually feel those differences if you're paying attention to them in NHL 21. It's nice to actually have lanes to pass to, especially on breakouts. The center curls around as he should and gets open instead of just kind of sticking to these default lanes. They'll get to where they need to be and hopefully give you a good chance up the ice. In the offensive zone, it's nice to have players actually getting to scoring opportunity spots instead of just trying to get open. So now, instead of just passing and then having nowhere to go, having to go to the corner and just curl around, waste time until someone is there, now it looks like the AI are actually going to open up and give you the chance to score. But again, I mentioned it earlier, I'll mention it again. So many of the goals that I experienced when I was playing the versus mode in the beta were the cross crease. And once we get to that, it just starts to feel repetitive. Everyone's looking for the same play every single time. So we need more defensive tools and offensive awareness to cut that down and force people to get creative and score in a variety of different ways. Last but not least are the goalie improvements, which are always welcomed. I know the goalie community will love those. It's going to be huge for ESHL and hopefully when you manual goalie in game as well. So maybe instead of trusting the AI goalie to make those saves, you'll actually have to switch to your goalie mid-game in HUT and versus and try to force those desperation saves to happen for yourself. But again, I'm not much of a goalie guy. I don't want to speak too much into that. So we'll wait for some goalies to come through and give us their thoughts on it. So that is our first look at the NHL 21 gameplay reveal trailer. It's nice to actually be able to break down some of my thoughts, some of the things that I experienced in the beta. I want to know your guys' thoughts though. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the trailer, what you thought of the beta, what you would like to see improved come the full release, and we'll discuss it together. If you guys are enjoying these NHL 21 news videos, let me know by hitting the video with a like. Of course, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 500,000 subscribers. And come NHL 21, we are going to be uploading 5 videos a week. So stay tuned. Much love, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.